Hello and welcome to another episode of Uniting Utah, the United Utah Party podcast. My name is Jim Bennett. I'm the party's communications director, and I'm joined, as always, by our capable vice chair of the party, Hillary Stirling. Hillary, how are you?
Doing well, Jim. Thanks.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. We are also joined today by Austin Simcox. Austin, hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. So can you tell everybody a little, so you are running for, which district are you running in?
63.
House District 63. You're running for the Utah State House of Representatives in District 63. So can you let people know a little bit about yourself? Give us a little bit of your background, where you came from, where you're going, that sort of thing.
Sure. So yeah, like you said, I'm running for House District 63, and that is the House District surrounding BYU. It's the youngest district in the state. I am a high school teacher right here in Provo at the Walden School of Liberal Arts. I teach social studies. And I'm also an after-school coordinator with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Utah County. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, and I came out here to attend BYU. I graduated 2 years ago with a bachelor's degree in teaching social science, and I've been teaching ever since and loving almost every minute of
it. So what grades do you teach?
I mostly teach ninth grade.
Ninth grade.
Yeah.
Social science. All right. You could have a real impact on those kids. I remember my ninth grade social science teacher very well. One of my favorite teachers, actually. So but that's a whole other beast.
Sorry, I was just going to say I can make a few guesses based on the background you've shared with us. But what is it that prompted you to run, Austin? What made you want to throw your hat in the ring this time?
Well, I think the most immediate cause would definitely be my students. I believe that we are not taking care of our students the way that we should be here in Utah. I think that education funding should be not only more, but also smarter. And I think that we need more teachers in the legislature, honestly. I think that the people making decisions about education policy should be the people involved in education policy. But I'm also running as a concerned citizen because I've started to realize that the legislature doesn't always seem to be listening to the will of the people. In 2018, we passed 3 ballot measures, and the legislature did its best to drag its feet on all 3. And we're still not seeing exactly what we voted for. And add that on top of the disastrous tax reform effort last year, I think it's clear that we as Utahns are not being listened to the way that we should. So maybe it's time for a change in elected officials.
Yeah, that still stings when you look at all of those initiatives that the legislature just took as suggestions that they were happy to ignore. So why then did you choose to run as a representative of the United Utah Party in order to be able to deal with those issues?
Well, what I love best about the United Utah Party is, and what originally attracted me to the platform was this focus less on ideology and partisanship and more on pragmatic solutions. I'm fine with solutions no matter where they come from, as long as they're logical solutions and practical. And I think the United Utah Party is offering those solutions. So for example, I'm a huge fan of ranked choice voting, and I would love to see that expanded in our state. I believe that we need much stricter regulations around campaign finance. Right now in Utah, you can donate an unlimited amount of money to a political candidate, and so can corporations. And I don't.
So has anybody donated an unlimited amount of money to you yet?
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, that's what I love about the United Utah Party, is this focus on fixing the problems, and if we can fix those problems, then we can have better dialogues.
Very good.
Okay. So education obviously is an important issue for you, and I know that's been important all over Utah. and COVID-19 is a tough year to be connecting with voters, but I assume you've been doing some kind of outreach. What issues have you been hearing from your constituents are important?
Yeah, well, usually when I introduce myself as a teacher, they'll automatically jump to education. I think education is a huge issue for most Utahns, and especially in my district. My district, I have a lot of young families, and they care a lot about the kind of world their children are going to grow up in. And our public education system has a huge hand in what kind of world our children can grow up in. Like I said at the beginning, I have the youngest.
So yeah.
What's that?
But it's not the only thing. You're looking at air quality. You're looking at kinds of things. So yeah.
Oh yeah, air quality and sometimes government overreach or government underreach, I guess you could say. Or affordable housing is a big one in my district as well. We have and manageable growth. My district is growing fast, and our government needs to be proposing solutions to be able to manage that growth in a responsible, economically smart way.
What do you say to the people who say, okay, well, great, but you're not a Republican, you're not a Democrat, so how are you going to get anything done, even if you get elected?
Well, I think that's a strength, personally. I think that Utah is hungry for newer ideas, and the party they come from is going to matter less and less. From what I've heard, as I've talked about these issues, everyone can get behind pragmatic solutions. And I think that it's time we reevaluate this two-party system. I don't think that it's been serving us well. And I think that sending a member of a different party to the legislature could send a strong signal that it's not politics as usual.
No, I absolutely agree with you on that. And I think more and more people are starting to recognize that. I mean, we're looking at the two-party system. We're looking at all of the problems that have been created by sort of the partisan tribal loyalties, that so many are hungry for another alternative that's a credible alternative. And I think you represent that as a candidate from the United Utah Party. How can people get a hold of you if they want to learn more about you? You got a website and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so you can find my website is austinsimcox.com. And you can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Austin for Utah.
I follow you on Twitter. I've seen lots of fun things from you on Twitter.
Well, just that I'm so glad to see for the youngest district in the state, someone who doesn't have gray hair, who doesn't have as many wrinkles as me, someone representative.
Right.
Appreciate you stepping up, and you know, I did run a couple years ago with the party, and it's not an easy thing, and I can't imagine doing it, you know, at a younger age. I mean, even at my age, I'm not going to tell, as the lady doesn't say, but even at my age, it was an intimidating thing. So thank you so much for running it, and we really appreciate it, and wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So thank you for being here with us. And for those of you watching, this has been another episode of Uniting Utah with Austin Simcox from District 63. Is that right?
Yep.
All right. There we go. If you're in or around BYU, look up his website and vote for him when you get your ballot in the mail. And we will see you next time on Uniting Utah.